Rekt podcast is brought to you by Honey Miner. Want to start mining, but never had the technical skills or time? Honey Miner is the answer. Honey Miner is a one-click install mining software that downloads directly to your computer and earns you Bitcoin. No more writing scripts or configurations. Just download the desktop app and start mining immediately. What are you waiting for? Go to honeyminer.com and start earning Bitcoin while you sleep today. That's honeyminer.com, on Twitter at GetHoneyMiner, and Telegram at t.me/honeyminer. I'm Bitcoin, and this is Rekt. Hello and welcome to Rekt Podcast. I am your favorite host, Bunchu Betts.
Technically.
Alongside, well, actually, I mean, to clarify, you told all of us to GFY, but, you know, the best of the worst, Bunchu Betts, alongside Mr. 13% Chamber. How are you?
I'm just glad to know where I stand in this whole team of ours. Only up from here. Pretty excited about it.
Are you saying that the bottom is in for Chamber?
I mean, there's not much further to go down, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really gonna have to step up my game for the audience here.
So, for those of you who may not have seen, over the weekend, Chamber had the wonderful idea that I did not like as soon as it happened to put out a tweet that asked which of us was your favorite host, and
I got what I deserved, didn't I?
You sure did. As soon as it came out, I messaged you. I said, this is a bad idea. And one, probably because I thought at the time I was convinced I was going to lose. And turns out I reigned supreme by the slimmest of margins over Cynthia, who is not here today because she's second to none, and she refuses to come on if she's not the number one. So next time.
This is a spite miss.
Anyway, 27 or 8% for your boy Bunchu. Thank you, audience. And Chamber will now forever be known as Mr. 13%. If we ever create a jersey for you, it'll be lucky number 13.
Believe it or not, that was my jersey when I was growing up. Both basketball and baseball.
Perfect. Then we're good to go. But anyway, welcome on in. We are recording this on Wednesday evening, and as you heard in the intro, Bitcoin is wrecked. We are at a live price right now of 63.50 is what I'm seeing. Down. We just started recording. It's 8:22 p.m. So at the daily close of 8 o'clock, it's already down 5% from what it closed at. Ethereum is just ticking away down to $215, and I mean, what do you even make of this?
I don't know.
It's the end of the world as we know it.
I don't feel so fine. I think, you know what? A lot of people were giving explanations for this big dip. We were talking before the show. I've been trying to bone up on my TA, and it's kind of supposed to be doing this. I guess it's still within that descending triangle. It did it really fast, but it's kind of doing what it's supposed to do. Hopefully we see a bounce soon. It looks like it's bouncing a little bit. So I don't know. I think we'll be okay. It's just, I don't know. It just gives us more opportunity to do more rec shows, I guess, is the way I think about it.
Yeah, well, it's going to keep the lights on or off if you don't have any money to pay your power bill.
That's a good point. Yeah, it's a good point, actually.
So we will be giving live updates throughout the show because it is going pretty crazy right now.
Yeah, so. I think we got on about 20 minutes ago.
It was 65 something already.
It was like $6,700 I think when we first got on. Yeah,
you are correct. Yes, it was. And so it's moving swift and fast. So Chamber, the TA expert, will be telling us everything that he's got going on from now on. So why should it be doing this? Do we know?
I just see the triangle, and I see it was kind of at the top of part of the triangle. I'm like, well, it's probably, unless it breaks through as a bullish, signal. If it doesn't do that, then it's got to fall to the bottom of it, or at least to the middle of it. So we're kind of in the middle of it now at about 6,400. The very bottom of that triangle is 5,800, 57.
Yeah, get me there.
It's kind of it's just exploring both ends of that triangle.
It's really exploring the studio.
It
just
sure
giving
is
it space to explore the studio.
A lot of room for activity in this.
A lot of room for activities. The great part about this is, like we said, so we only have Chamber and myself tonight, but we have so many great guests that know far better about what they're doing than we do. And if you listen to Bitcoin Birch's episode yesterday, he kind of called this almost exactly. He was talking about, and this was last week when it was at 68 or 69. He said he was looking for somewhere about 73 to close his long. It got to almost 75-ish, which we will cover in a moment.
So close.
Which we will cover in a moment. And then he said, expect some more downside probably. He didn't see, the volume there. He didn't see a lot of that stuff there that would indicate reversal. Do we know what we're at for market cap right now? I know that's a random question, but he was talking about the market cap.
Well, his magic number was 250.
Right, so I'm not sure what we're at now.
So we're at 202, just under 206.
Right, so he was talking no long-term reversal till
and
over
I believe
250.
I checked earlier today. I think we were at like 230, 229, something like that.
Oh boy, so it's dropping fast and loose. The other thing I saw today was, you mentioned, it's happening quickly, and I saw something that said it took 17 days or 16 days to go up to 7,400, and literally 5 hours to drop back $1,000.
Well, so. and the reverse of that is true too with Doge the other day. Mm-hmm. I read a tweet where it was like, it took 6 months or whatever it did to get to that point, and it took 3 days to
make it back almost to all-time highs.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's insane.
Which, by the way, also a great call by our former guest, friend of the show, Bitlord, who cashed us out a nice little Rekt bag over the weekend. Yeah. We sold our Doge from the Rekt index, taking profits. So we are learning here.
I'm impressed with where we are today.
Yeah, we've come a long way in a couple months. Have. And so thanks to our wonderful guests and thanks to all our listeners. Speaking of our listeners, we would love it if you gave us a review on iTunes, rate us, give us a review, tell us your Rekt stories, tell us why you like the podcast, where we can improve, anything like that. But give us a rating. We need some more visualization for iTunes. So please do that. Feel free to join us in our Telegram channel, t.me/Rekt_podcast, and our Twitter, which we have a lot of fun on, that you will be seeing some really fun videos coming up in the next couple of days, at Rekt_podcast. So it just went under 6,300 just in that 5 minutes we were talking. So we are in the 6290-ish area. So still continuing to drop. We will give you live updates throughout the show, and that was only in 7 minutes. So let's get to.
Can you taste the volatility?
I can. It's sticky like molasses.
It sure is.
How would you describe what volatility tastes like? I think I described the opposite of volatility.
I think you did.
I think I did.
Volatility is a bit more sour than
and like I felt like not sticky like molasses. That would be non-volatile because you want something viscous. Right? Right, exactly. Can you taste the viscosity? Anyway, so we had a bet here on the Rekt podcast. The first ever Rekt prediction wager in which Chamber put out a very bold prediction about 2 or 3 weeks ago that he thought that Bitcoin was headed from, at the time of the call, I think it was about 6,700 on coming up, and he called that it would hit 7,500 by Labor Day, which was September 3rd. And Chamber, how close did you get?
I use the BitMEX chart on TradingView, and I think it got to 74.25 or 74.30. Double digits away. Not
so close. It was so close, but that's not how we roll here on Rekt's podcast.
That is not how we roll.
So close. No cigar. It was close, but as you can see, and almost right at the exact time frame that you thought it might hit, because it got that close and then bounced down to where we're seeing it now, all the way back down over $1,000 downside. So what was the bet here, Chamber?
Well, the bet was if I lost, I have to do this water bet challenge thing that
so the water bet. Yeah, so the water bet challenge here is my favorite fantasy football podcast does this when they make wagers about specific players and everything. And what it is now is they actually put out an app so that other users can use it in their leagues, but we're taking it to crypto. So it's the Wheel of Water that we're going to be spinning. Chamber will have to spin it. We're going to put the video here out on YouTube and on our Twitter page, and then you're going to get to see Chamber have to go through with one of these wonderful wagers. So Chamber, you ready to spin the Wheel of Water?
I sure am.
I hope your funds are not Safu. There is a safe option on this Wheel of Water, and I hope you do not get it. So please narrate for us how this is going to go.
So I'm going to get to the right 1 second here.
So if anyone thinks this is a cool idea, the app is literally in the iTunes store. It's called Wheel of Water, so you can
super easy to use
do it
too
with your friends. Yeah, it's literally just a spin wheel, and whatever you get, it tells you how to do it.
Yeah. So I just turned on the recorder on my phone, and it is now recording. I'm going to click the spin wheel button. And yeah, just kind of like Wheel of Fortune. It's a huge.
Except you can't buy a vowel. You're going to have to buy a bucket of water.
That's right. So there's a couple of. Is there only one safe option? I think there is.
I think there is, and there's a couple that are spin twice.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna give it a spin. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Spinning the Wheel of Water.
All right, it is landed on. Oh no. Ice bucket.
Yes.
That's worse.
All right. So tell the people what you've won.
So
what's behind door number 3?
I've spun this a couple of times just for practices, and all of them that I've had have been pretty easy. 8-ounce cup of water, dump it on your head, throw it in your face. This one requires what they call the big cup.
Yes.
And that is 12 to 16 ounces.
Yeah.
So
and
double the size.
Your wife is going to be executing the challenge?
She's been curious on when this was going to be happening.
We're going from... this will be a much bigger size bucket, I'm sure.
I don't think she knows what ounces are. We live in Canada.
Right.
So I think she's going to figure that they're liters.
Yes.
And 16 liters of water might be a lot.
Excellent.
So 16 ounces of water. Striker dumps water... with ice on top of the victim's head.
So you were basically doing the ice bucket
challenge
without the donation to ALS.
Yeah, no.
So
I was gonna be crude there, but I dialed it back.
Good holdback on you.
Yeah, no, I think it was good. I don't want to alienate anybody out there.
That was probably smart, but we are an explicit podcast.
Yeah.
But, all right, so you guys will be seeing that.
Yeah.
On
not looking forward to it. I'm gonna be honest. That's way worse than originally anticipated. So
on our Twitter channel this weekend, Chamber will be executing the bet. We also have one more bet that you have coming up on a price prediction.
Can I just spin it now?
Yeah. So your other price prediction was by September 15th that Ethereum would be $480. It is currently, as we speak, plummeting another 6% down. It is at $215 even. So you've got a long way to go on that one. You better buy a new swimsuit, Chamber. I'm going to tell you. So
It's going to be, yeah.
Anyway, so those are the bets we've got going on. I just want to say before we get to our news, just a callback to another previous episode. I had my first Tim Hortons this weekend.
Ooh, nice.
I sent you a picture of it.
You did.
It was delightful, I gotta say.
Was that in New York State, or were you in...
It was. I was at a rest stop. I was road tripping 10 hours to Columbus, Ohio for a friend's wedding. And
you're a nice friend. I would not do that.
We were looking for somewhere to stop, and, well, that's good. That means at least I know that when I send you an invitation to my wedding, you won't come.
No, 100%. I will gift you. I won't come.
That's perfect. That's the exact...
That's the best. That's the
way
best
it should
guest.
go.
That's the best kind of guest.
That is the best kind of guest.
No,
so,
I'm a good friend to have. Bunchu.
I'll write you 2 invitations.
You're going to realize this over the years.
Yeah, I'll write you 2 invitations. But anyway, my Tim Hortons was delightful. I would stick with our rankings of Tim Hortons may be a better Dunkin'. I think the Dunkin' coffee I may be a little more used to, so I may have thought that was a little better. But I thought the food options at Tim Hortons were the best between all three, amongst all three
including
options.
What, Starbucks?
Yeah. The Starbucks food isn't
not
really great.
No.
And then look, anywhere I can
get... Did you get
get
those breakfast sandwiches?
I did. I got a breakfast. I got a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant.
Ooh,
and I'll say this:
treat.
anywhere that will offer me a donut as a side, that's a place I want.
Welcome to Canada, baby.
And the live update right before the news: $6,255 for Bitcoin. We are just free falling right now, as Tom Petty would say. So let's get to our news. Chamber, why don't you kick us off?
Okay, all right. So, big news here from ccn.com. WorldWire, IBM launches Stellar-based blockchain payment platform. Ooh, Stellar.
Wouldn't someone say this was good news? Why are we falling off a cliff?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't for the life of me figure that one out. So, yeah, that sounds like good news. IBM, big company. Stellar, a top 10 cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a match made in heaven,
Absolutely.
So essentially what they're doing is computing giant IBM has launched a blockchain-based financial solution that it says has the potential to completely upend the existing status quo in the global payment and remittances.
Interesting. Does it tell you how it's going to work or anything like that?
It sure does. The new solution, called IBM Blockchain WorldWire, combines the Stellar blockchain with digital assets to make instant money transfers possible of a guaranteed value. So,
So essentially, it's going to lock in a price without any volatility based on what.
That's always been the problem, right? The volatility. You look at Bitcoin, which is the least volatile besides Tether. Even that. Within 30 minutes, we lost $18
billion of market cap.
So it's pretty tough. So if they can figure out a way to, take that part out, I think that's where we really start to see some movement.
Yeah, and it goes back to one of the news stories we talked about last week with Square. And they are taking it one step even further than that and converting it to local fiat for merchants, which so you combine these two things and that's pretty awesome, I would think. But alas, we find ourselves in this position, which could be maybe a catalyst. People were referencing this story as a catalyst for today's action. I don't buy it, but I don't think it's that big of news that it would cause a I
feel like when this stuff happens, people just kind of look at whatever the most current news is and say, "Oh, that's the problem."
This has to be it. And I hate when people do that. They're like, "Why is it dumping today?" I'm like, just because it is. That's what happens.
It does that sometimes.
I feel like bullish news is way more. I don't know. That's a bias, I guess. I was going to say I feel like bullish news is much more helpful to a price than these kind of one-off bearish stories, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think either of them really.
No, I think it kind of does what it does.
Yeah.
And then the really, like last year when you have retail customers coming in, like when it's word of mouth and it's just everywhere, and it was in the zeitgeist at the time,
Right.
And I mean, people were losing their minds, and
isn't that the restaurant magazine, or oh no, that's Zagat. Dang.
That is that like Zagnut? I don't know.
Anyway, but yeah, so I know what you're saying, where it was like everyone that actually has a bullish impact.
Yeah,
for sure.
And then once you get bullish news, you lay that on top of that, I mean, then it goes bananas.
Yeah. But anyway, my story here is Goldman Sachs is abandoning their plans for a Bitcoin trading desk for now. So, we've been seeing these rumors that obviously major Wall Street investment bank Goldman Sachs, they had been talking about rumors of potentially adding a trading desk for cryptocurrencies. And in 2017, they had some, activities that pointed towards some of these plans. They hired the seasoned cryptocurrency trader Justin Schmidt, so people thought, okay, that was definitely going to be a catalyst for them having a crypto trading desk, but alas, they are not doing that for now. Lloyd Blankenfin introduced some level
It's a funny
of
name.
I don't even know if I said it correctly. Actually, it appears to be blank fine. Introduced some level of clarity to the ways and extent of their involvement in cryptocurrency market. In an interview with CNBC, he explained that the role being played by his bank was simply to clear futures in Bitcoin for some of their futures clients. So that kind of goes into, talking about the whole ETF thing again. And as we've seen, a lot of them have been denied recently. So this, Goldman Sachs saying, hey, no Bitcoin trading desk for now, or no crypto trading desk for now. This was just for us to, clear some futures, things like that. So, people are referencing this as a catalyst, but I'm not sure it really has that much of an impact. But here we are. So that'll do it for us for news, keeping it short and sweet today.
Apologize for the news, folks. Kind of a shitty news day, but we need to do a news segment, so... It was the best the news had to offer us today.
Yes, news. Thanks for being shitty, because it's clearly not us.
Yeah, it's definitely not us, guys. We all know this.
But now we're going to have a little more fun here. Yeah. We're going to go to our critically acclaimed rapid fire segment. All right, Chamber. So rapid fire, we had a lot of fun doing this. It's a way to keep us having fun in these times of Rekt. I'm going to ask you some questions, some related to crypto, some not, and we're just going to have a little fun here. So let's talk about your favorite album.
That's a solid question. Favorite album... I'm not into the cool kids music.
What is cool kids music?
I don't know, like the Champagne Pappies of the world.
What is a Champagne Pappy?
You don't know Champagne? You don't know Drake? I mean,
I'm not a big Drake guy.
You don't know Champagne Pappy?
No, I have no.
So maybe I am into the cool kids music.
You are. That's cooler than I've ever been. So.
He's Canadian though, so we all have to know him. So
that's true. It's like exactly.
Shout out to Degrassi. Yeah, I like. I'm more into independent music, old music, more of an eclectic taste.
Is your answer going to be something that anyone's going to know?
Probably like two people. My God. DM me directly if you know this. But it actually, you mentioned you went to Illinois,
Columbus, Ohio.
Quite
close, somewhere around there.
You were. It's all the U.S. to me. No, my favorite album is probably Illinois by Sufjan Stevens.
All right. I know some. Yeah, I know some Sufjan Stevens. Yes,
that might be one of the best albums ever made.
Okay,
like it's insanely good. If you like, like I said, I'm kind of a music snob. If you like music, it moves you. There's not a better album than that.
All right. I don't think I could possibly give an answer for this. Here's one for you. I'm going to go back to when I lived in Illinois. I would take 13-hour road trips home from Chicago to back to where my family lived in New Jersey, and one album that I could probably listen to top to bottom still today, and I used to just listen to it on repeat, was Blink-182, Enema of the State.
Ooh, Enema of the State.
That was one. So I don't know. I mean, it's
probably not my wife. I think that's my wife's favorite album.
It's probably not my favorite album of all time, but it's one that I remember very vividly that I could still definitely listen to top to bottom today. And I used to do a really good impression of the lead singer. So.
That's funny. That's good.
Where are you? And I'm so sorry.
Say spiders. Say spiders.
The webs from all the spiders. Catching things and eating their insides. So
it's too much. Stop. You're killing me.
So that was my impression of Blink-182, and I hope that made your day better.
It did. Like when you said spiders, that was always my favorite part. I'm like, that's a funny way to say spiders.
All right, you got one for me?
Comfort food.
Okay, so today specifically marked a very intriguing day for me on Twitter. I apparently started what was referred to as pizza trouble. Today is National Cheese Pizza Day. Pizza is my favorite food. I ate some in celebration for dinner, a large cheese pizza, not all by myself, because I have to share with my fiance. But
I know, 2 slices for her only.
That's the only reason she got any, is because she lives with me. But so I'm going pizza. But the other, controversy is cheese pizza even really pizza?
You tweeted that out, and I said that's just cheese bread with marinara sauce.
Yes, but that's such garbage, and here's why. I consider myself a pizza purist, and I respect and love the pizza for what it is in its most pure form, and without the regular cheese pizza, there is no other pizza.
Well,
I mean, it's the Bitcoin. Of pizza.
Is this the equivalent of a hamburger with a bun? Like, you can still call that a hamburger?
What do you mean?
Like, no condiments, no cheese, just a meat patty and 2 pieces of bread. Is that the equivalent?
Yeah, but
are we still calling that a hamburger?
I guess that's it is at its base a hamburger. I don't know if anybody would say that's their favorite form of it, but
that's what a cheese pizza is to me.
But that's such no. All right. We're going to Twitter with this. We're taking it to the polls, but like I said, cheese pizza is the Bitcoin of pizzas. Everything else is an alt pizza, and Hawaiian pizza is
is it the Verge?
Bitcoin Cash.
Oh no! Boo! First of all, my comfort food is also pizza, and that particular type of pizza is a Hawaiian pizza with hot sauce on it. Come at me.
That? See, let's just oh man! All right,
that is a slice of heaven right there, buddy.
To each their own.
Yes, that's true. I'm not big into the warring against it. That's my personal favorite.
Would you die on that hill?
It's just my personal favorite.
See, I think I could die on a cheese pizza hill. Like I would be able to die for that food.
Yeah, hey. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it was apocalypse times and there was a pizza 500 miles away, I would definitely try to get that pizza.
Well, that brings us into our next rapid fire question. What would be your weapon of choice for a zombie apocalypse? and you cannot say pizza.
Weapon of choice. I'd go with. I don't know if you're like a Walking Dead fan. I think
I watched The Walking Dead and I fell off of it.
I think most people did. I think I'm the same way. But the Negan bat, I think, is what I'd go with. I think it makes a lot of sense. Oh, you didn't get to Negan? Negan's a good part. It's a classic episode. It's basically just the Charlie rat killer bat.
Oh, so it's got like
the same
spikes bat. It's like spiky bat with nails and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And I think the reasoning behind that would be guns are great, but you're going to run out of bullets eventually.
Yeah, I feel like you need to have something by your side at all times.
Yeah, and a bat is super solid.
Yeah.
Like, that thing's not going to break. You'll be able to get a ton of kills out of it.
Right.
I think that's the way to go. And I think zombies, I think the main trope is they have, like, soft skulls. Like, they're easy to ding in the head. I think that's the way to go.
I was just going to say something terrible.
About zombies, I don't think they'll feel bad.
Well, it was more about soft skulls.
They're like little babies.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I was gonna say.
It's okay, I have a baby. I'm allowed to say that.
I don't, so I didn't say it.
Fair enough. It's all right.
All right. Next one for me.
What's your favorite sport to watch?
Well, another timely question, I believe, because tomorrow, the NFL is back, and last Saturday, college football was back, and pretty much between the months of September and the beginning of February, you won't find me anywhere 20 feet from a television on the weekends, because that is my favorite sport to watch. It is a great gambling sport. I play a lot of fantasy football. Shout out to our boy Apples, who I've been talking a lot of fantasy with in our Telegram chat. That is my favorite sport for those reasons, and I know you will disagree with this one, so go for it.
I actually don't like. I don't disagree in the sense that that is a great sport. Not my sport of choice. I'm a basketball fan.
Yes.
NBA only. I watch some NCAA if the team. I'm a Laker fan.
I'm almost a strictly college basketball guy,
and I get it. Don't get me wrong.
Well,
I totally
it's mostly
get
because I'm a Knicks fan, and the Knicks haven't been great since I was.
You want to see future Knicks?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't even talk about them.
Yeah, no, it's too bad.
I mean, I remember the John Starks, Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing Knicks. Yeah, those were my Knicks, and now these guys are #not my Knicks.
Not my Knicks. That is too bad. But no, I do feel this time of year, I always feel super envious of all you guys with the fantasy football leagues. I love fantasy sports. I just get into the fantasy basketball stuff. I get into fantasy football, but I know very little, and I feel like I would just be giving my money away. If I'm going to do a fantasy league, I want to have some sort of an advantage.
I will gladly take it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm going to lose enough money in crypto. I don't need to lose any more money doing that. So, I get really jealous because there is a ton of good stuff out there. Like for you, how much did NFL change? I want to say 7-8 years ago when fantasy started getting really big.
Well, let's put it this way.
And then they. Don't you guys have like the special channel, like the Red Zone?
Oh yeah, the Red Zone channel. It's my favorite.
I mean that's
thing.
insane. I mean that's
my favorite thing.
Awesome.
I just sit around for 12 hours and watch every.
Yeah,
touchdown.
I'm so jealous of that.
It's great. But anyway.
But how much did that change for you? Like was that
huge? It was huge because now you can first came the Sunday Ticket, which you could watch any game, but then you don't even have to watch that. Now the Red Zone literally just takes you to wherever someone is going to score. And then
combine that with all your fantasy teams.
Right. Well, that's why it's perfect.
It's amazing.
But, and then I still watch my Giants. I'm a Giants fan, so I watch that on a separate, like a separate channel, and I'll flip back and forth, And
that's awesome.
That's what I do. So, all right, last rapid fire for you, then one more for me. What is your favorite movie quote?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably that's fudge. That's a good question. I said my favorite movie was Fear and Loathing last week. It's probably a Fear and Loathing quote. Like it's backcountry. Like that's probably something I say a lot.
Oh my God! I can't believe I even know what you're talking about. That's a great quote.
I say that a lot, especially when I'm under the influence.
That's
if I've done some mushrooms or something like that. As soon as it kicks in, that's usually a quote that I pull out.
That's pretty funny. All right, you got one more for me?
Yeah. Obviously you're a big phone guy. We all are. What's your favorite app?
I mean, I feel like
and you can't say Twitter. You can't say Twitter.
That's what I was gonna say.
I know it's too easy. We're both Twitterholics.
Now I need to. Well, does Telegram count then, or no?
No. No social media.
Oof.
There you go. That's a good rule, I think.
Well, then it would have to be my Apple Podcast app, I would say, because I am a podcast junkie, because I am in the car all the time for work. I drove 4 hours today, 4 hours yesterday, 10 hours over the weekend, 6 hours tomorrow. So
you're making your fiance listen to all these podcasts too? In the road trip?
Yes.
That's tough. I always try to get my wife to. I might get her for like 20, 30 minutes, but I'm like, oh no, we got like 5 hours of podcast.
If I'm driving, I'll get control, and then usually if she's driving, we'll hit the Spotify app.
What's the ratio for you guys driving?
Well, this past weekend when on this road trip, out of a 20 hours driving, she drove 2.
So my wife calls me like a sexist because I never let her drive, and it's not a sexist thing. I just want to drive all the time.
Well, see, I like driving, so
I love driving. Yeah, I mean, I think we both drive for work. Yeah, I mean, that's even on my days off. I like to go for a drive.
I needed a nap on Monday though.
I could see that.
Toast, yeah. So
I could see that.
All right, time.
So I feel we have a similar ratio.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay. I don't feel that bad now.
We're going from rapid fire to word association. These are all crypto. I have 4 for you. You have 4 for me. Ready? I will ask you first and give me your one word answer. First thing that comes into your head. Ready?
Yeah.
ICO.
Loss.
Good one. All right. BTFD.
Oh, okay. $15,000.
Why is that where you?
That's where I started buying the dip.
That's where you started buying the dip.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I like that. BitMEX.
Never.
All right. And finally, CNBC.
Kind of fake news.
Kind of fake news.
I think.
All right, that's good.
All right, your turn.
Yeah.
All right, IOTA.
Oh, that was my first altcoin I ever bought. So that's my answer. My first altcoin.
All right. Blockchain.
I was in love with IOTA. I thought IOTA was going to change the world.
That was if I was against any alt, that was the one I was against.
Well, you remember I was in about 7 or 8 months before you, and so like all that MIT FUD hadn't come out yet.
Right, I think that's where I got in.
The wallet still worked. Like it was 30 cents. You know,
it was the tangle. It was the tangle that was. It didn't make sense. Like the blockchain made sense.
That makes I get.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
like
I
know
totally
I'm not asking you to explain it, but that was the difference.
See, that's what I liked about it, because I was thinking to myself, as a new person in crypto, I was thinking, okay, obviously Bitcoin has an advantage over everything because, you know, blockchain is the first one, it's the currency, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And then so I was looking at things and I'm like, all right, what's different about any of these other things that could be, you know, a differentiator and not like something that's just like a blockchain like Bitcoin. So that's what my noob mentality was thinking at that point. You know what I mean? Because everybody comes in and they're like, okay, which of these altcoins is going to be the next Bitcoin? That's like the first thing you think. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so that's what I was thinking.
Makes sense. All right.
Next.
Blockchain and Morty.
Oh, awesome. And I cannot wait. Are we allowed to even say?
Yeah, I think we can.
So this has probably been. So my answer is awesome.
Yes, that's the correct answer.
So two reasons. One, because I like to do impressions. Obviously, as you just heard me do a Blink-182 one, and I think I'm decent at them. But like, I could never imagine trying to do like the Rick and Morty impressions, and
especially being like German.
Yeah, right. Especially being full-blooded German.
Yeah,
like
pure. We don't say pure-blooded German, right? That's
not a thing you can say. And especially being full-blown German. Yeah. Is that better? But
Uber German.
Uber German. I'm actually an Uber XL German guy myself. Nice. And so but
that's Bavarian.
Crypto Breakfast is the bomb. But what I was going to say is we've actually had him booked for the longest of any of our guests that we haven't released an episode yet. So we're actually recording with him next week, but we booked him like I don't know, probably 7 weeks ago, and we just are waiting for the schedule to come around.
Yeah, we had booked a bunch of people at once, and it was just we started doing the weekly thing, and it was just it was the
so we can't wait. It's actually perfect timing.
I'm going to be honest though, that's the one that I'm probably the most excited. I mean, we've had big guests.
Yeah, this will be a fun one. We got.
I'm the most excited to see him. Like
we need to think of some more creative things that we can do.
I know. I'm really nervous to have him on because I want to be funny.
Why don't we just let him be funny?
Yeah, I would be like,
that's what we let the other guests be smart. We'll let him be funny.
Yeah, that's not
we
a
can
bad
be
idea.
funny on these ones that we do by ourselves.
I just want him to think. I'm cool.
I just want him to think I'm cool too.
Yeah, that's all.
That's it.
So yes, did you catch the new episode, by the way, the 20-minute one?
I actually haven't. It's on my queued things to watch. I watched
it twice already.
You did? I need to watch it.
It's amazing.
And then I want to read his article that he posted on Whale Reports today about the crypto tribalism. So if you haven't seen that, one, watch the 20-minute Blockchain and Morty. Two, read that article. Pretty cool.
And for the record, full disclosure, I've actually never seen an episode of Rick and Morty.
I've seen 5 or 6.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's doing the voices awesome.
They're pretty spot on.
Yeah,
they're very spot on.
Yeah,
I actually thought when I first saw him that he was somehow the person who did the voices. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no, it's pretty good. Okay, Blockchain Morty, we did that one. Crypto Twitter.
Oh, we asked that one last week.
Did we? I checked no, I didn't think we did.
We did.
All right, never mind. Next one. Roger Ver.
You're the worst at this.
Did we do this one last week too?
Well, we did Bitcoin Cash. So.
Okay. I didn't take notes. I'm sorry.
Roger Ver. Oatmeal.
Oatmeal.
He's
what's oatmeal?
He's just bland and boring to me.
Oh,
and
okay. I thought he had something weird with oatmeal.
Yeah. It reminds me of Bitcoin Cash. No. Roger Ver himself is just kind of his personality is like oatmeal. It's I can see why some people eat it, but it's
like
not
dry toast with water on the side for dipping.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly it. Roger Ver is a prison meal.
Yeah.
Speaking of prison meals, and another tease for you for another guest that we have. So this one is going to come out next week, right?
Yes.
So we had a huge honor of having the one and only Charlie Shrem on, and Cynthia and Chamber. I actually had some real life work to do, so they had to hold the fort down. But we will be releasing our Charlie Shrem episode next week, either Monday or Tuesday. We're going to poll you guys and see when you would rather have it on. We want to make sure we give it to you on the days that you expect it. However, we want to give him, all the guests enough time to have their, episodes out and get them out there and things like that. So we'll put that on a Twitter poll as well, but we're very excited for that one. You got to interview him. I've heard the interview. What'd you think?
I thought it was awesome. He was super super nice. I was actually pretty shocked by it. Sometimes you think these people do so many interviews that they get a little jaded, but no, he was awesome. He was super nice guy.
Well, you did a great job, by the way.
Well, I was a little nervous.
It's not easy, is it?
No, it is not easy. I will always give you kudos for that. You steer the ship. I just make shit jokes and diss jokes.
You swab the deck.
Yeah, that's all I do. But yeah, it was really good. I think we got a lot of stuff. I've listened to a lot of interviews, read a lot of interviews. I think we got a lot of stuff that nobody else got.
I totally agree. And we also played some rapid fire with him, which he seemed to enjoy a lot, actually. So.
Well, way better than I thought that was going to go.
All right. So I think these will be fun to do with our guests. But now you got a little more insight to us. We got to play some, word association. If you're listening to these and giving us feedback, let us know what you want to hear for these kind of questions or word associations, things like that we can keep doing and having some fun with. Next, so that was our rapid fire segment. We're going to go to a brand new segment that we're going to do every once in a while based on crypto Twitter. We're calling this the Rekt in Memoriam. So our good friend and everybody's good friend, Crypto Dale, is the newest and latest to get his crypto Twitter account suspended. So he has gone from having 25 to 30,000 followers back down to 2,000 followers on a new account. So RIP to the old handle at Crypto Dale.
What's his new handle?
At Dale of Crypto. So everybody go and follow him, get him back to his old highs.
How upsetting was it when in one day he just shattered both of us? Like just
yeah,
like what?
Right, exactly.
Like didn't he just lose his account? I'm like
he lost his account yesterday. He's got more followers than all of us combined, than both of us combined right now.
Damn you, Dale!
But anyway, shout out to Dale. Go follow him. Oh, hey, here's a fun thing. Bitcoin's back up to $6,415. So we went all the way down, and we hit a wick there for you. You missed the bottom call a little bit, but 62.70 at the current moment is where that bottom was. So let's see how long that lasts. But anyway, last segment here for you is the Rekt Index.
Brutal, savage, Rekt.
Chamber, what do we got?
How are we looking? Not so good today, I'll tell you that much.
We were looking great, which is really pissing me off because every time we do this segment, we're like, oh, we're down 20%, blah, blah, blah. We were looking great over the weekend.
We had a nice, the Doge pumped helped.
Doge pumped helped. We were up huge on Quant.
Quant was up a good amount. Yeah, no, we were up, we were pretty good a couple of days ago. Too bad we couldn't have recorded then. So currently we are down in our BTC by 1%, which is typical just because of how weighted we are with BTC. We are still up. Actually, no, we're crushing it in Ethereum value. We're up 62%. And in US,
because Ethereum's in the toilet.
I know. That's okay. That's all right. I'll come back.
I'm only going to measure my life in Ethereum value.
That's all right. No, that's good. You're not feeling too well right now. And in USD, we're down 16.3%.
That's not bad. We were actually up over the weekend, though, from our.
Well, I didn't check that. Yeah,
we were. We were up in USD for sure.
Yeah.
We were up. I think we were up 7 or 8% overall for our whole portfolio, and then RIP.
Are you a USD guy or a BTC guy?
Typically, I'm a BTC guy, but I've been using a different app than you, and they show me first in. I
like to check both.
But I'm finding it harder to use the app that I'm finding.
What do you normally use?
I was using Blockfolio for a long time, and then I started using Delta, and I think I'm just an idiot and haven't really figured it out yet.
I use Delta for my main one, but I use Blockfolio for the Rekt one.
Yeah, there you go. But anyway, so that's where we're at. And that's going to do it for us.
I think we should have an emergency show, by the way, next time we're up big and just be like, oh, okay, we're up.
Yeah,
that's it.
We're up. That's it. We're cashing out everything. We're the best traders in the world.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, that's going to do it for us here on Rekt Podcast. I will leave you with the BitMEX Rekt of the week. They are... there's 7 or 8 of them right now, all for 10 million contracts on Bitcoin, starting from anywhere from 6,700 all the way down to about 6,400, literally within a 15-20 minute span. So how about that to leave you wrecked?
That's pretty wrecked.
That's pretty
wrecked.
Anyway, that'll do it for us. Until next week, don't get wrecked, and that is financial advice.